Michael Chandler's journey in the Octagon started when he defeated Dan Hooker in Abu Dhabi at UFC 257. With a co-main slot on a star-studded lineup, the powerful lightweight was determined to make his UFC debut an unforgettable one. Demonstrating his explosive power, he instantly solidified his place as a contender in the UFC lightweight rankings. Iron Mike takes us back to that iconic performance in day one.
I made my UFC debut in Abu Dhabi at UFC 257 against Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker was one of the scariest guys inside the lightweight division. He had wars with Paul Felder, wars with Dustin Poirier. The guy had no quit in him. So we knew we had a tall order, both physically and literally.
Yes.
A little bit of nerves going into that one because Dan Hooker was such a dangerous opponent. And you're also making your UFC debut as the co-main event of a Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier pay-per-view. The stage was set, but it was a huge one.
Abu Dhabi, what's going on? Welcome to the ceremonial weigh-in.
Ceremonial weigh-ins was somewhat surreal because I've watched them on TV or on the computer online so many times in my career. The ceremonial weigh-ins, that's where the fight really starts. The first fight is making weight. But then the ceremonial weigh-ins, that's where you start to feel the buzz, and then you get to stand in front of your opponent, you get to make eye contact, you get to size him up, you get to see the look in his eyes. That was the beginning of UFC 257 for me.
We are thrilled to welcome you to UFC 257.
UFC 257 was just huge. There was something welling up inside me that said this was about to be the greatest performance of my life. Just such a ridiculous range of emotions. I was overwhelmed with gratitude. Being back there, getting my hands wrapped, my eyes were welling up with tears. I was crying these grateful tears because I was thinking about my son and the sacrifices we've all made. I was thinking about my wife and the sacrifices that she has made. I felt like I was in the exact right moment where I was supposed to be.
So here he is, Iron Michael Chandler, making his much-hyped UFC debut.
Making the first walk to the Octagon, it felt like home. I had seen it in my mind 1,000 times because I visualized it. I knew that I left no stone unturned in my preparation. I knew that I did every single thing that I needed to be successful. So when you have that kind of confidence, all bets are off and you can just move forward and take the fight as it may.
One of New Zealand's best and one of the toughest fighters to have ever graced that UFC Octagon, lightweight contender, Dan Hooker.
When I'm looking across the Octagon and Dan Hooker is standing there, tall, proud, confident, dangerous, I made it my goal in that moment, and I was gonna go put his lights out.
Iron Michael Chandler taking on Dan Hooker.
Immediately, we met in the center of the Octagon. I wanted to get in his face. I wanted to put the pressure on him, take him out of his game plan.
You see Chandler already very aware of that low calf kick that Hooker likes to throw.
I knew he was gonna throw kicks. As he started throwing kicks, try to be cognizant of them, try to be mindful of them, check them or move my leg out of the way. Couple feints, couple fast movements, let him know the kind of athlete that I am, the power and explosiveness that I possess. Go hard to the body.
Lands to the body there.
Go hard to the shoulders.
And now goes up top and lands.
Make him feel that power.
Push kick now for Chandler, starting to open up a little bit.
Chandler getting right in the face of Dan Hooker.
Wanted him to start second guessing where I was gonna be. I wanted to impose my will. I wanted to get him on his back foot because if a guy retreats, it's just the beginning of the end for him.
Oh! Big knockdown for Michael Chandler. Hooker covering up. Michael Chandler maximizing the debut.
Eventually, the right hand to the body set up the switch. Overhand left, landed right on the jaw.
Come on, man, you cannot get hit by a powerhouse like Michael Chandler.
He drops, hit him with a couple shots in the head. Mark Goddard gave him every opportunity to stay in the fight.
You want to talk about making a UFC debut? Michael Chandler just did it as good as you can.
I was on cloud nine.
Declaring the winner by TKO.
In my professional life. Surprise, surprise! There's a new king in the lightweight division. God bless. See you at the top.
I think my UFC debut exceeded my expectations. It was every single thing that I ever dreamed of it being, but more. It was just awesome.